Hello, AfterBuzzers. You are watching the Jane the Virgin After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, we are discussing a very exciting Chapter 49. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. We
didn't plan it. We didn't do any of that. But that is naturally how sisters feel all the time. Hermanas por la vida. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, AfterBuzzers, you are watching the Jane the Virgin After Show. I am your host, Stephanie Giorgi, and I'm very excited today because we have Kylie Hodges back.
She got it together.
She got it together, Hodges.
Got it together.
But before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to our page below. Find us on iTunes, SoundCloud. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us comments and let us know what you think. You can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi.
And you can find me on Twitter at and Instagram at XOXOCESCA. It's Francesca. And you can find me literally everywhere at Nataly Tividian.
Tweet at the Kylie Hodges.
Tweet. I'm just kidding. So today is chapter 49, and the good news about having Kylie back is that we're probably going to recap from 45 to now because there are some opinions that we want to go over. So
we want to hear it all.
We want to hear it all. Ooh. And before we go into tonight's episode, which is quite exciting, a lot was going on considering we thought last week's episode was more or less a little boring. Yeah. That'll be exciting. But just hold on to your
stay with
horses.
Hold your horses.
Hold
panties.
your horses. But there's something
and your
else.
panties.
Yeah. Hold on to your
pants. Everything. Hold on to Raphael's abs.
Yeah.
I just
like
wash my clothes on those abs.
Speaking of non-existent abs, during Jane's lost virginity, because she was having sex with Michael and not Raph. What did you think about Jane losing her virginity?
You know, I really loved the way the show did it because the show isn't truly about her being a virgin. Mm-hmm. And so it was like not an afterthought, but it was like they started the episode where it was just like
straight up.
Oh, she's no longer a virgin, but also, and her mom said it later on in, I think, last week's episode, it's not just about having sex. It's like you have gained something in your life. You've gained sexuality.
Yeah.
And that's like womanhood.
Game too.
Yeah, it's like she's more of a woman. Mm-hmm. And I think we're growing with Jane, and so this is just another like life step for her, and it's not so much getting the P and the V or the big O as it is
a lot of letters.
Growing with your man and connecting with him and like having like a real deeper relationship.
Excellent.
I liked how they did it.
I like how you just recapped that right now.
Well done.
PBL.
Well done. I guess you got it together.
P and the V.
I know. Just kidding.
That's how I'm going to talk about sex in my future.
I was just saying, I'm like,
P and the
okay.
V. And the O.
You go on a rocket.
Orgasm. Okay, got it.
The big O.
The big O.
There's a flower cloud. It just goes away.
What did you think of the animation
There's a whale
version of it?
I thought it was adorable. It reminded me of Mr. Magoo.
Yes.
Did you guys ever watch that movie? 90s kids, what up? Yeah, I just thought it was really cute. I mean, this is a CW show, so it doesn't need to take itself too seriously. And I think, like, having an actual sex scene with Jane would feel a little
weird.
Off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to keep it kind of tongue-in-cheek, the cartoon was perfect.
I agree. Especially with all the innuendos they had in there. Is that how you say that?
Innuendos.
Innuendos.
Yeah. How do you say it in Spanish? Innuendo.
I don't know.
Innuendo.
I'll ask Google in a little bit.
Google.
Innuendos.
If you know how to say that word in Spanish, tell us. Comment.
Okay. Great. Okay, cool. So then, Jane is now more of a woman. She's learning more. She's still, actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
she's a happy mommy.
She is a happy mommy, but it still cracks me up that that was it.
Yeah.
I know. It was like
over.
I'm so surprised that there hasn't been more of her reflecting on it, more her talking about it, or us, and maybe we'll see it later in her writing now that she's writing this new novel, which we saw it for a second when she was writing a little bit about Cecilia, Abuela's sister. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to see something. I just want to know more about her sexuality again, Jane losing, as much as she gained her sexuality, that's what I want to see. Where's the sexuality that she gained? Kind of from it.
We're seeing the maturing. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing her stand up to her grandma. We're seeing her become more of an adult.
Seeing things, the perspective is different. You kind of are able to stand for your own.
She's not trying to impress grandma anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Or
Nataly, thank you.
She gets it.
More like, where is it? And you found it.
Yeah.
Well, and also I feel like when her professor said like, oh, you're a virgin, that explains everything. I think once we start to see more about her or hear more about her writing, she might maybe go into detail there, and then we'll kind of hear Jane's inner thoughts about how she feels about sex, other than like not being able to achieve orgasm with Michael, which can I say, shame on Michael for assuming a woman losing her virginity can orgasm.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's common knowledge. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
And for me, it didn't happen for years.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. Practice makes perfect, Jane.
I agree.
And sometimes it's about connection, too.
Yeah, I mean, she's lucky she had that gnarly connection with him. But real quick, back to what Nataly was saying, I actually totally 100% have to agree with even just the simple decision making that she's even made in this episode. Yes.
Yeah. You're right,
and it does make a difference, though. Because
Yeah.
remember, I would say, like, there's like a naiveness that someone has that doesn't allow them to do certain
it's not
things
there
or
anymore.
see it a certain way. Interesting.
It's Grandma, I'm sorry. I know this
Exactly.
is you standing your ground, but this is me standing my ground. I'm going to talk to my relatives.
And you would never think that losing your virginity or sexuality would be able to do that to a person, but it kind of does.
It's a mindset.
Maybe yes, it's a mindset, right?
I think also because the show is Jane the Virgin, we as viewers got so caught up in the virgin, the virgin, the virgin. So that's why it's kind of just like seems like nothing because we're stuck on that when it's really the whole show that's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I do agree with you. We do have to see a little more of her exploring her sexuality.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to see that.
Next week, Jane buys a vibrator.
Right? Yeah. Maybe not so physically, but again, just the way it reflects in her day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But again, so back also what we were talking about in regards to her writing about Cecilia, let's talk about Abuela's family and how she has a huge issue about it. In this episode, we find out that Abuela's mother passed away without ever having spoken to her because her sister ruined things, which is unbelievably awful for, I was gonna say, especially for a Latina woman, because we're so like, but for any woman, right? Because our mother is everything in any culture. I couldn't imagine it, especially if you knew deep in your heart that it wasn't your fault and you had to kind of hold on to this stubbornness and more of like a pride and a defense mechanism, because what are you supposed to do when your sister's
dying to know what the sister did. I'm dying to figure out this big mystery about why Abuela is so upset.
I think
Driving me insane.
I feel like that is a big thing, like her mom passing and her not being able to talk to her. And Abuela has been kind of stubborn. We've seen her be stubborn throughout the show. So it's more probably that she feels guilt.
Yeah.
I would think about it.
Possibly.
Because really, at the end of the day, like,
she could have just spoken to her.
she could have just spoken to her.
Yeah.
Hold on, no, I think she's onto something, because at the very end of the episode, we see the cousin, and where did she appear from?
And that's a little bit intrusive, you're right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I feel like if mom's always right, grandma's like
extra right.
Yeah,
and
up
we
there.
come and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So you know what? Touche on that. And then also I was thinking to reference another show, in Pretty Little Liars, towards the end of it, when we find out that Allison's mother has a sister, Mary Drake or whatever, and the whole backstory is it, which, not that there's an importance, but still there's a theme within shows and movies, or that there's always like a sister that everyone wants to believe and the other one that's kind of outcasted. That could easily be the situation in this as well. I feel like you're
I'm just speculating, but didn't Abuelo, Jane's grandfather, didn't he have a lot of money?
Did he?
Wasn't there something about like he had money, he was born into money, and then
he
they
left his
moved
money
to
for
America?
it, or something like that for her.
Okay, so I kept thinking that maybe he still had money, and then I was thinking, what if, or maybe I'm like trying to like piece all these thoughts together. Something about this cousin showing up on her doorstep and the fact that the family hasn't been in touch in so long. The family in Venezuela doesn't really know what life with Jane's family is really like. And so if they don't know that her abuelo never really got his money. What if they think they're still wealthy, and that's why, like, what if she's kind of a mooch?
Oh,
And this cousin is like at the doorstep thinking that
she did make
Jane's
a donation.
wealthy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, family comes out of the woodwork.
They do.
when they
there's money
think
involved.
there's money.
Yeah, no, you're
So
absolutely right.
That's where my mind
especially,
went.
and I hate to say this, but I think especially in Latin America, because there's not that they're not there, but she said she lives in New York, so I guess I couldn't exactly say that, but I can only imagine in prior years that the way that abuela is so graceful and like a wonderful woman in regards to the way she doesn't talk about her family and she wants to move forward, and that's the way that she does things. I can only imagine everybody in Venezuela diciendo que ese Alba porque se fue a los Estados Unidos que ya se cree mucho, which means that Alba, that, you know, ever since she went to the United States, now she just thinks she's all this and that, blah blah, you know, especially because in those times Venezuela was a very, very bad country. So I could only imagine the envious that they would have for having escaped what was going on over there.
Yep.
And then in addition to that, the cousin is pretty, and she was too excited about it, you know, and Jane was ready for it, but because she longed for it.
Right.
Yeah.
But she already seems like she's going to be intrusive, so.
I think Jane is also going to be suspicious, because that's kind of, I mean, she's judgy. She's
She'll pick it
admitted
up,
it.
yeah.
She's even though, like, she holds family very near and dear, she's going to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, we see in the
Michael.
preview, Raphael thinks she's pretty too. So hopefully maybe that's all the drama that comes with her being there. It's just
Ooh, a
that.
love triangle.
Well, it's
A
still
weird
gonna
love
start.
triangle.
I'm sure she's gonna be weird, and if that's the thing though. But if she finds out about Raph is the one that also has money.
Yep. Oh, that.
This money
that can
gang
be
might
it.
be a
And
thing,
then that
Kylie.
falls. In, that's kind of interrupting with Mateo's life and everything else. So that's kind of crazy. So that's the family drama.
Can I say one last thing, just jumping back to this
Please.
whole season starting? The one thing that truly shocked me, I'm still surprised about that the show went this way, is how quickly Michael recovered. Like, I really wasn't
Well, they did a time lapse.
Yeah, but
still,
like in the as
grand
far as
scheme
the
of
length of the show, like, it was how many episodes? Like 3 episodes, and he
Yeah.
was back from the hospital. I just, in my mind, I so deeply believed that it was going to be this season-long saga of him in a coma and like
and
and
Raphael
trying to
flashbacks
get
to like
better.
his dream world and like what's really going on, and possibly Jane falling back in love with Raphael while he's in a coma. Like, my mind went there for the past couple months waiting for this new season.
And
Oh
then
my
And
god,
so-
I was so happy he woke up and they didn't leave us with cliffhangers like
I
that.
was really happy too, but just really surprised that they kind of wrapped up his being shot fairly nicely with a
Right.
bow.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be drawn out a little bit more, but I'm really happy with the way the season is going, and I'm not upset by it.
we
The
were surprised
Petra
too. We didn't think
situation
it
was
going to,
like
yeah.
stretched
The
out.
the Petra situation is a whole nother.
Yeah, that's my best.
Situation.
That's my best for last for this episode. So let's see, Xiomara. We're happy for Zoe this episode because she finally decides that she wants to open her dance studio because the fella from Greece showed up. Just kidding. Rogelio showed up as well as Alba and
Vision.
Beauty School Dropout.
I always just thought that she did run a dance school. I mean, I
No,
knew
but
she
it's from
taught
her
dance,
house.
but yeah. So in my mind, I was like, that's her career.
Right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, why is she questioning? This is like the most obvious thing in the world.
Yeah.
Keep doing dance classes, grow that. And so it was kind of like the whole thing with, why isn't anyone finding out Petra's actually Anezka? I was just like, Zoe, you already have the answer. You already have something that makes you happy. And I actually love that cute flashback when Jane's like, I remember every step. And she, Zoe was teaching like her first dance class with Jane and like 2 other kids and how it's grown. I was like, that's so sweet. Like, that's her calling besides singing, you know?
Well, but now I think what it is though is opening the dance studio kind of makes it more of a permanent role and a little more responsibility to stay there. I mean, we don't know if she's still gonna follow her singing dreams, but
I feel like she's really kind of cut that out for right now.
well, yeah, she's going to have to. But I'm saying in the long run, because she might just need a break from it also to gain different perspective. on her
It's
career.
still on the writer's table for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
I
bring
think
back
she's
more
gonna do
Gloria.
great if she puts all her energy into business. I think
Yeah.
she's gonna be a really good business person.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we need more Gloria Estefan in the show too.
Actually, and I hate to go back, but I was just thinking, did we ever find Abuela never found that bag of money?
No, they did. Jane said the busser accidentally swept it up when they were cleaning up someone's. But you know what? I was just thinking about
glossed over
that.
Why did I miss
I don't remember
this?
that either.
Yeah.
But what I was just thinking right now is like, why? What was the point of that?
Right.
Like,
You're right.
completely. What was the point of? Like, I understand it was because she wasn't paying attention because they were in an argument. But like,
why did we
what
need
was the
to
point
see
of that?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
they did
almost-
wrap
And
it.
it was
Yeah.
quick. She owned up to her mistake. She said she looked away and take it out of my paycheck. It was really quick. Maybe just to show what a kind person she is. I don't.
Before you said, what was the point? Or before you said that the busser had swept it off, I was thinking, what if because Alba hasn't seen her sister in 42 years, what if her sister was around and kind of swooped it real quick? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if she's been creeping?
Oh snap!
Well,
Old lady creeping. That'd be impressive.
It was just weird that whole money hashtag money bag. That was like just weird. I don't know.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's something else with that.
I'm gonna write on my little notebook hashtag money bag. See if it comes up again. What?
Your notes are so pretty.
This is like you have like a Jane the Virgin after show diary.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
not just like
today
scribbles of
Jane
notes.
and Michael.
And you know, if she doesn't
Kes.
have her notebook, you won't take notes on anything else.
No,
I'm just
I
not
hate
doing
taking
it.
notes on the
That's
other
the most
notepads.
beautiful handwriting
It's
about
so
a
nice.
TV show that I've ever seen.
Dear diary.
I draw pictures and I write like the word mad really big.
all
and then
Kylie's
arrows.
abs.
Yeah, all Kylie's paper is just abs.
Oh, look at this one, guys.
Ripples.
Dear Journal, Michael and Jane are still together. I'm not sure why. I know that Raph and Jane have an incredible love, and I was like trying to read it. Which shout out to my few YouTube viewers that are agreeing with me. Thanks, because I know everyone else is really mad about not being Team Michael. And again, I have to
think
say
a
this
lot of
every
people-
episode. We love Michael. Just
I think a lot of people
Let me
agree
follow
with
my
you.
heart. Yeah.
It's
Let me
okay.
follow my
It's okay
heart.
to look at Raphael and still love Michael.
I
Just
mean-
like what I'm sure Jane does.
Just like we all did. I mean, I'm pretty sure
have to
everyone is
point
Team
out
Raph
Justin,
tonight.
Justin Baldoni just liked one of my tweets. And it's actually a video of the three of you because I took the video. Just throwing that out there. Thank you for the like, Justin.
Come on our show.
Are you watching right now? I want to
Yeah.
lick your abs and your face. Oh my god!
So, in case you guys are not on my Twitter right now, the
I'm retweeting
video is the three of these girls, me rolling on it, watching the gym scene
Oh my god!
when they're
Justin
working
Baldoni.
out.
Here's the other thing
and
about
Justin,
him.
I don't know what to say right now.
Here's the
Raph
other thing
takes
about
off
him.
his
When I
shirt.
first started stalking him on social media, I learned that he has a beautiful wife and a beautiful baby. And
Oh,
he
their
posts
family's
these
so
videos.
cute.
He posts these videos about how much he loves his beautiful wife and his beautiful
Can't
baby.
stand
And
him.
I'm like, this is the most beautiful family I've ever seen. I could never break this
There's
up,
a
but I'm
woman-
so
I
in love
cried.
with you.
There's a woman at my restaurant the other day. Oh, oops, sorry, oops. Volume.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Volume.
Sorry. I
just
was
throws it on
I
you.
know, and I was like, oh my god, get away from my mic. She came in and I was like, oh my god, you know who you look like? And he's like, she was like, who? I'm like, Emily and Baldoni. And he's like, what? Or she said what? And I'm like, Justin Baldoni's wife? This is a really good thing. Trust me.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't matter. That was
What
a
if
pointless
it was
story. I'm so sorry
her?
for talking right now. It
What if
wasn't.
It was her.
No, that'd be weird. No, I know what she looks like. I thought it was for her for a second, and then I like looked around and I was like, no, Stephanie, stop. Oh my god. You know what? Can I stop talking real quick? Let's go back because I'm annoying myself right
Are
now.
we going back to the abs right now? Because this is a very important part
Yeah,
of this episode.
let's go. I have a load of laundry to
very
wash.
important
Justin, if
part.
you can help me out.
My washing machine is broken. Can you
Yes.
help a girl out?
A little bit of, I got some tough stains. Really.
Poor Michael. He was just like all scrawny and awkward.
My favorite
and,
part
like,
is when the back went boom. And he was like trying to hold it and it made his arm go down.
And the thing is, he's like a good-looking guy who's
Michael's
also
adorable.
in shape.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely not a non-muscular
ripped,
dude.
yeah.
He just
he's
didn't take
just
his shirt
not
off.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one could ever be.
So back to this sketch.
Those arms.
Well, reference, get it? Remember?
Oh,
Sketch.
right.
He was like
Sketch.
trying to be so
He was.
cool. Like what, he was asking his favorite like shows or something. Like it was like an awkward, really awkward first date.
Yeah. So how many reps do
They're
you do?
cute, but I really like the both of them being together, and it makes me even happier that Rogelio is doing that with them. Which I don't think we
love
have
it.
to. Besides the fact that Rogelio wants to show his pee-pee now on his show, which is so funny. I don't
Whoa,
think there's
there is something with that.
what.
Because we see at the end with the network saying there's a morality clause. You can't
So you can't do it.
you can't do it, but
They're gonna
they're
bribe
like,
him.
but we didn't say you couldn't do it, but you have to do something for us, and we never went back to that. So I'm wondering what that's gonna be.
I wonder too. But otherwise, he has the support of his two his bro ships, his bro friends.
Dude,
his bro friends!
Brogelios.
his brother.
His brohelios, yeah.
Can't wait. One part that was so funny was when Rafael and Mateo were in the car, and then he goes to pick up Michael, and you know Michael's his BFF forever, and then he moves the stuff out of the way, and Raph's like,
You couldn't do that
really? You
before?"
couldn't do it before? He's like,
No, I know. Ride or die.
And also that Rogelio's car is a pimp mobile. Like
Yeah.
it's like
purple Escalade.
lavender stripes.
And he picks them up and he
tacky.
leads with, I am the patriarch of this
Of the
family.
family. But you know what? I loved hearing that also because
Yeah.
yes, you are, sir. And it's just like such a beautiful modern family where they're just getting together. And it was so cute to see Jane so excited. I would be also.
She was so pumped.
Especially she's like, wait, what? We're gonna hang out, okay? Yeah, I loved it. That's nice. And we got to hear like Michael. You know, Michael still has a little bit in him where he's
Anger,
like,
yeah.
There are some insecurities there.
Of course.
It makes
Insecurities and
sense.
anger, and it totally makes sense. And I think he took it out on poor Raph.
And it never occurred to me either, but yeah, Jane was engaged to him when they started hooking up.
She was also already pregnant, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's how far we've come since season 1. I also forgot that Rogelio wasn't in Jane's life all of her childhood. So much has changed.
So weird.
Yes, and I hate to bring this up again, but sometimes all I can ever think about is when Jane walks out of the room after Raph tells her
Oh, I know.
her cry
Wait, what?
in the hallway. I always think about that cry that Jane had when she left Raph's room after Raph like forced himself to tell her that he didn't love her anymore,
Even though he really did.
even though he really did.
Oh.
It was a really
An
hard
ugly
cry
cry.
for her. Yeah, it was an ugly cry, but
I forgot
It was a
about
Kim
that.
K cry.
it was I'm just kidding. We love that girl.
I love that.
I love
love
how
her
you
face.
figure out ways to sneak in Kim K every now and then.
Anyways. Not just
No,
kidding.
that is, why
a
do
good
you
thing.
always
It's
go
smooth.
back to that? That's so interesting.
I always because we always talk about how much time has gone by in this, you know, and then I think you're right. She was so involved with Michael and everything else, but then all of a sudden Raph comes in, and as much as yes, she has the Raph's baby in there. I remember in the beginning we used to always say, well, yeah, you know, because you want the idea of the family being together. I think that even then, I don't. Now thinking about it, now that I know Michael more, and I can imagine, God, I always put myself in Jane's place. I'm not Jane, but I can imagine being together. I think I would have.
You have to remind yourself like 3
Always,
times
it's
every
not
time we do
me.
this after show. I am not Jane. I am not Jane.
I always think about how she. I don't think that the hormones and all of that had to do with it. I think that it created an opportunity that wasn't available before for them to get to know each other. And because that happened, that's why she fell for Raph, because it was something different. The way that
They
some
had
of the-
randomly met and kissed before all
That's what I'm
that
saying.
stuff.
They couldn't go forward from that because Raph was still in his place and everything else, and that their romance probably wouldn't have re-sparked had they not had again this opportunity that kind of it allowed Raph to see her differently and vice versa. I don't know. I'm getting too much into it, but I'm thinking about it because so much has gone by, and now she's back in love with Michael. But
We are going way back today.
I know, but I still think about that in the hallway, just because I feel like that's where her heart is again, which blows my freaking mind that they actually did let them get married.
I know.
So you think Jane's heart is still for Raphael?
I don't think I don't know. I couldn't even tell you that either, which sucks. I mean, I want to say that because my discussions online are always that it's the opposite that she needs. It's they're able to grow more and learn more with each other. But then at the same time, what's wrong with being happy and being respectful and being friends with your partner?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Raphael even said
Interesting.
about Michael to Jane, I can understand why you guys like each other now, because they're they're
so similar.
they're so similar.
yeah.
Even
because
though
they're both judgy.
yeah. But I think
But that's not good to be judgy together.
But I think it goes
That's an
more to
annoying
like
couple.
Jane's kind of like, I don't want to say awkward, but like she, like we said, she's changing now. But pre V card, she's, you know, this quirky girl, and Jane's kind of quirky for a guy, especially after that bromance date was totally awkward.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I am always on the same wavelength as you about Raphael, and I always think about how the narrator says Michael loved her till his dying day. So that's like, we don't know if it's like, okay, well, they grew old together, or if something in a, you know, upcoming season is gonna happen, and then Raph's still gonna be there. And today we saw, you know, they had that awkward bromance date, but then when they were changing the tire and they finally got everything hashed out, they sat together with little Mateo. I was gonna say Mateo. Mateo in the middle, and it was like a cute,
That was a really
happy
cute moment.
family. So I think
It was.
right now their dynamic's just gonna work like that. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, and specifically in that scene, I bet you it helps so much that Justin has his daughter, because my heart pounded just to see the look on his face. Like, Michael looked worried, but it was more like, not again. And Raph was more like, where is my child?
But it's also, in addition to him actually having kids in real life, in the show, that's actually his biological
That's
son.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
daddy
it
instinct.
was, it was so, because you're like, when you're watching it, I'm like, oh my
Does
God.
it make you hot? The
Yeah,
fear.
it does. I'm like,
his
yes,
shirt.
care about my baby. Oh, wait.
I'm not,
Not my
Jane.
baby.
I see what you're saying though, that like the fear was really real.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know. I'm always obsessed with those. When you're receptive to something, you know, when the acting is like gets you, because that's what it used to be back in the day. But now we're in the business. It's hard to not be like, oh wow, I wonder who their teacher was, or oh, I wonder what they did to kind of put themselves. What was the thought before you go in? You know, like everything we learn in school or in classes. And so it's nice to be taken away from that in a moment and just being scared. Like I wanted to feel that.
And we did.
Yeah, I'm a little.
I've never taken an acting class, so I don't feel that way.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but you do. I mean, you do red carpets, and you have to prep yourself for so much, and you're on camera,
That's
and you
true.
do things like this.
When it comes to TV and movies, though, I just fall right into it.
Yeah.
I'm like stressed watching like a PG-13 movie.
Yeah,
I'm just sucked the F in. That's all.
Another
sip some
letter
water
from
now.
you, F.
yeah.
And PVO.
Okay, so yes, that was that whole bromance going on that we loved, and we'll continue seeing, hopefully.
Yes.
And then
What's next? What's
for the
next
good
on the
stuff.
menu?
Well, I said Jane, but Jane's a part of everything, so that's
She
fine.
is.
I just wanted to recap on the big things, and then we can obviously go back to whatever we want. But
Sketchra.
finally, yeah.
Hashtag Sketchra.
Man.
I don't even know how to
Man.
feel about Scott, nor do I care to speak about him actually about
Wait.
this entire thing.
Scott literally thought that, quote unquote, Petra was going to break up with him because he farted in front of her.
Yeah. That was really
I
funny.
really believe that. And
Maybe
Jane,
his farts are toxic.
Jane was like, it's okay, everybody farts. And he's like, not Petra.
Question.
In the 6th grade, I broke up with my boyfriend because he
Shut
farted.
the front door.
Ask everybody at La Mesa Middle School, and all my
damn,
friends
she
to
is
this day,
proud
they
of
know
it.
that. No, because I used to always be embarrassed because everyone loves to bring up this story because I get so mad about it. I love you, Augie. That was his name.
She just called you out.
I
You
know.
farted.
Augie farted.
You
Hashtag
farted.
Augie farted.
Cutest thing I've heard in my life. Tell us more about this breakup.
It was 6th grade, and I remember everyone was standing outside. Damn, I feel so bad right now.
He's not watching, but he will be.
Yeah, right?
What's his Twitter? I'm tweeting this to him.
No. So we were in 6th grade. It was like my little luau party, and I remember I was weird about people coming into my house because I was like, don't mess things up. My parents are gonna get mad and this and that. And so everyone was like in line, not in line, but I was like letting people go in kind of one at a time. Oh my God.
Wow,
I
you
don't
were
know.
a bouncer at your own house.
Seriously. But, or they were
Don't
doing
touch
something.
anything,
They were all
don't
playing
mess anything
outside,
up.
and then I came out and they're like, oh my God, you missed it, da-da-da-da. Like he farted, and they're all silent. I was like, no, I didn't. And then I remember I was thinking about it, and I was like, what? And then like grossed me out. And then like the next day at school, I was like, I don't know if we can be together anymore.
Oh my god.
So sad.
Augie, she's evil.
Whatever.
You're a mean kid.
If
Stubby
girls,
doesn't
if
fart.
girls don't fart, yeah, I don't. If girls don't fart, Petra doesn't. Anezka doesn't.
Wow.
Guys don't have to either. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Are you kidding with me? I'm just kidding.
Adorable.
Okay, anyways.
That's the cutest.
So
story.
it possibly could have been that she broke up.
Wait, okay. My question to you ladies is, we see when Scott is crying, Kim K crying about farting, Jane's like, I have a favor to ask you, and we never saw that favor. After that, the next thing we saw was him proposing to, quote unquote, Petra. Do you think Jane had anything to do with that?
I didn't think about that.
Well,
Why
Jane
would
asked
she?
for the
Because
favor.
she was convinced that Petra was just unhappy and thought that would make her happy.
People here.
Sorry.
Ooh, yeah. No, you're right.
But what are her? Why?
Wait, because she's trying to figure out the Petra and Anezka
No,
thing?
because
That's
he was,
what I was
because he
thinking.
was already okay, and maybe because she knows Scott on a work level prior to him dating Petra, maybe she could have brought in some kind of reality like, okay, look, we both know Petra, right? Did you not find it a little odd when she fell in love with you? Right?
Yeah.
Because he really still thinks it's Petra. And that's the thing about Anezka is that she's being so stupid because she's not realizing that he's in love with her. I mean, obviously for her, kind of, but it's still mostly the idea. It's everything that he
right.
knows of Petra from prior. And it could have easily been that, it could have, because mind you, he said all of his words very strategic in this episode, right? Remember, this is your blood, your sweat, and tears. He could have been using like trigger words if they both knew each other. Like, what are things that you know Petra would never do? Like the engagement. Maybe she would have felt weird about an engagement because she'd been married twice before, or I don't know, just certain stuff like that.
Who do you think was saying the trigger words?
Scott might have been after him and after Jane had spoken to him.
Interesting.
Because his demeanor and everything switched up. And why did he all of a sudden decide to propose to her is what you're kind of saying, right?
Right. And he also willingly, I don't want to say willingly, but he accepted her
Consejos? Oops.
Yes.
Sorry. Consejos are... Yeah.
accepted her breakup. When the real Petra broke up with him, he kind of was like, what?
In
but
a
then it
different
was
way.
like, yeah, but it was like, okay, well, if you can give up your
That's what I said.
hotel, that means so
Strategically.
lot to
I said he
you,
used
I
his
can
words
understand.
strategically.
So I feel like Jane was in on this. I don't know. What do you guys think
I
out there?
don't know. I feel
What do
like
you guys
Scott,
think?
I think Scott's obsessed with Petra, and I think Scott actually wants to marry her.
Petra, though. And again... He has been working under this woman for a very long time, and she did not pay one, like she paid
She's
no mind to
disgusted
him.
of him. She's annoyed of him.
So you
That's the
think
real
he
Petra.
figured out that he was actually dating Anezka?
No, but I think Jane said something. That's what I'm thinking.
Possibly,
And helped him realize it.
And maybe she didn't even say anything. Maybe she's like, I just need to see something. Will you mind doing it for me? And then he could have put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah.
Like she didn't even have to, just because he could have been very defensive about it and been like, no way, that is Petra, and Petra did love me, you know? Because that's kind of the first initial reaction someone might have. Unless she had him do something so that he could see it first, she probably would have the confidence that one, Scott would peep it out, and then later does more. Because why was he so cool about it when she broke up with him officially?
Yeah.
You know?
And what was the favor?
Yeah.
I was a little confused when Petra, the real Petra, broke up with him. He said something about he like professed her love still, like that he still loves her, and then I don't remember what he said, but the way Petra looked at Anezka, I don't know if she had a moment where she felt bad for her sister, like, oh, this man might actually like my sister.
Yeah.
For who she is. I didn't know if that's what that scene was
That's
about.
how. Are you saying when she saw Anezka through the doorway holding the baby?
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it.
I don't know, or I don't know if she looked at her sister like, you little Beezy, you're going down, I'm about to tattoo your forehead.
Oh my God.
That is cruel.
Because she's very trigger happy.
I
Like
think
the
so,
tiniest
too, yeah.
things trigger her because she went insane and she's like, she's really mad at Raph because he came in and said, "Oh, I thought you didn't have the mom gene." Like, she's very trigger happy. She goes, "I thought things were great with Petra and Raph, and they were finally co-parenting, and they were finally like nice." I said last week, "I like Petra, poor thing." Like, no, I don't like her anymore.
No, like a while ago when we started saying that, you know, back when Sam D was on here last season, that we really love her now. But the bitch is back, and with all good reasons. I mean, she's 100% having PTSD right now. PTSD. Forgive me, PTSD.
So many letters today.
Sorry, right?
Like, she should be angry for being in a coma for 3 months, but like, I'm just so confused why she's funneling it into Raphael.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. Yeah, you're right. Channeling was the right word. But
like, you know, being
not
told
just
that
him.
he didn't think she had the mom gene. Like, is it worth completely destroying his career?
No, but it's not.
Or
I don't
stealing his business?
I don't think it's just
trigger
him.
happy.
I think that first of all, what happened to her was a very traumatic experience.
Yeah,
and it could be one, security for herself. Two, she's like F the world because. Nobody helped me, and that happened, and it sucked. And like, how did you not know the difference? I mean, and again, she can't be. She doesn't realize it. It's like, calm down, like Petra. Like, your sister's still your sister, so she's probably kind of good at what she's doing. And you know, we didn't realize it so much, but damn, it sucks. Sorry, we gotta wrap up.
I'm all trying to do it incognito.
I know, right?
You say.
We're out of time.
Yeah.
We just want to figure out what the problem is with Petra.
Yeah. No, but that was bound to happen. And then again, I strategically, Scott said a lot of words that made her do a lot of other things. One, so that to end the relationship. Two, to have her think about the hotel, and to have her think about herself. Yeah. You know, he was like, your blood and sweat and tears. Like, this is yours. You know, what was going on there?
Yeah. Really fast.
Fishy.
Since we got it wrong. What about when Petra whispers into Raphael's ear, "You were right"?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Because she couldn't say it at the moment. She couldn't do it at the moment. And I thought that was smart of her.
She has the signature.
I thought it was smart of her, but also because she just got out of it, and because that was the safest thing, since that was what was happening for the last couple of months, she just is like, needed to like recap, and also not, it could have gone either way. They would have believed her or not believed her. Or what if Petra would have convinced her again, and then it would have just made her look crazy. If that, I don't know. Again,
but then
Petra's not stupid, though. That's how we know Petra. Petra's not dumb.
No,
she's.
But she had said to him, like, if you ever repeat this, I'll like end you. Right? Isn't that what she said?
She said she can. She make her life a living hell. But she also said that she'll deny it.
Yeah. I guess maybe she just wanted to have the justice of like telling him he was right, and then making him go crazy by not being able to say that.
I mean, and at the end of the day, I still think she's like F the world, because
probably
that sucks. You know, at the end of the day, like she said, what the things that she had to watch and endure while she was just laying there. I mean,
I'm surprised she didn't put her sister in jail though. Like, what?
I'm surprised she didn't squeeze her neck a little harder.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, but she tattooed her damn forehead. So
love it.
I can't believe Anezka, but you see, but then even that part makes me mad, because I'm like, what are you doing just laying there and letting that tattoo happen?
Oh yeah, I guess
punch
not get set
out. Yeah, yikes.
I thought Anezka was stronger than that, because she did go through all she went through.
I don't know.
It's a big old mystery, guys.
It is a big old mystery, but I'm excited because there is a lot to come from Petra's character at this point.
A lot of juice.
A lot of juice. She was also featured this evening in My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I don't know what it is about me being so jelly when my characters are on different shows. I'm like, whoa,
crossover. I didn't know that. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
well, that's another great CW show. So
Gina tweeted that she's really excited about the singing scene.
Oh,
like I did that. I'm not a singer.
She sounded great. She sounded so good.
And she didn't say she's excited, but she was like, I did it for y'all.
Aww, I think it sounded awesome.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and go into predictions, please?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, I'm like thinking, do we even have time?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be quick. It's essentially exactly what you're talking about. Again, we're just gonna see Petra like unravel. Excuse me.
You go, friend. Oh,
I have none.
I have none as well. I mean, it's just, I'm so overwhelmed. But I feel like this was a really big episode and a lot has happened and we're still processing.
I'm super excited about this episode.
I think Xiomara's not going to quite have the confidence to completely... I feel like she's a little wishy-washy with her career, and so I feel like the dance school won't quite come to fruition yet. And I feel like Rogelio's getting blackmailed by his network, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
We were really nervous about where the show's going because she's not a virgin anymore, and I think that this is going to be a ton more family drama. I'm really excited about Abuela and everything going on with her family, and I'm excited to see how the whole drama with the cousin unfolds. I think there's a lot going on there, so yeah, this episode kind of put my mind at ease. There's a lot going on. Yeah, there's so much family drama. So,
and the mother always knows. So it's one of those things where we're gonna see. I think Alba be completely right, and then Jane's gonna get a big old slap in the face.
I think there's a big reason she didn't talk to her sister for
a reason
40 plus years.
There's a reason for that. Exactly. Yikes. Okay. Well, ladies, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, tweet at me at the Kylie Hodges and find me on Instagram at Kylie Hodges.
And you can find me at Nataly Tividian.
Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA, and please in YouTube, tell us your predictions.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in and for discussing with us tonight. Was a very exciting episode, and we'll probably have a lot more to talk about in regards to Petra next week.
So much.
Find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, on Instagram at @TheStephanieGiorgi, and we will see you next week.
Bye! Mwah!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.